So we are talking learning bentos today. This idea comes from Amanda Sandoval. If you follow her on Twitter at History Sandoval, history teacher is just any teacher. She has really great creative ideas. So let's get into what this is. The idea of learning bentos begins with the bento box from Japan. You can go really deep into the history and philosophy behind bento boxes, but essentially it's a single serving packed meal that's ready to eat. No matter what's in the box, all the components are neatly organized and in containers. These Japanese bento boxes are what inspired the book bentos on Instagram. And what these are basically just those square images with the book as the centerpiece and the surrounding objects carefully placed and selected that represent significant parts of the story or the characters. Let's take a look at some of these. Let's look at some student examples. So a learning bento is when students show their understanding of a topic by creating a graphic with carefully selected and organized objects that have symbolic significance. They also need to justify and explain their symbols, helping to make connections that stick for them. And I'll show you some examples here. Here's the one we just looked at so you could see the full example. The graphic is on the left. You'll notice all the items are numbered, and then on the right hand side you see the table that's split into two columns where they define each of the items, and then on the other column they explain the symbolism connection right there on the right hand side. And I'll show you a variety of ways that these are done as well. So here are a couple here. So they had characters that, of course, all the different objects, things that it's holding, all of those things are going to be described and labeled. There's a couple more. They do not have the tables or the descriptions, but you can see what it looks like. That's a book bento down here at the bottom. And then you'll see this one here has a couple of gifts, and then also the table. Here's another example where the teacher listed questions for the students, and then what the students had to do was answer each of the questions, and then they picked a picture on the left that represented their answer. So you can see how students are going to make much stronger connections with the content that they're trying to find graphic images to represent. This one is on xenophobia, the Zoot Suit riots. And even though these are history examples that we're showing you, and you've seen book bentos for RLA, this is something that can be done in every subject over any topic that's covered. The big thing to remember is that it is not this, okay? It is not students just grabbing images and copying and pasting. You can put directions where you tell them to be more creative, not to use the picture of a scroll to represent the U.S. Constitution, that you want them thinking deeper about these things. If you have any questions, we're going to put more links at the bottom for you to see examples.